opportunity doesn't really necessarily mean profit.
In order to break down what Ziidi will do to the Kenyan market,
You need to do a lot of research. You need to get educated. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. My name is Caleb Sam. I'm a dealer at Kestrel Capital.
Hello everyone, my name is Ken. I'm also a dealer at Kestrel Capital.
So today we just want to talk a little bit about the Ziidi Trader and the revolution it's making, not only in the Kenyan markets, but globally. And I'll just go through a few pointers so that we just get acquainted with what we want to talk about today. So if you look at what happened in the US stock markets, Robinhood democratized US stock markets, and eToro did the same for Europe. And that's simply what Ziidi Trader is doing for the Kenyan market. The Kenya's advantage is that we have 35 million users already on the M-Pesa platform. So this is just a matter of educating the masses and them transferring their knowledge in investing in the Kenyan stock market. What makes Ziidi different? It is built on mobile money infrastructure and not a standalone app. So it's just a product that is within the M-Pesa app that you get in and start trading immediately. The early impact of Ziidi since it was launched by the president of Kenya, we have seen over 72% of trades in the first week alone, unprecedented retail participation coming into the Ziidi trading platform. This has more than doubled the number. Before that, we used to average about 7,000 trading participation every single day, and we hit a high of 26,000 the other day of participation in the NSE trading, especially through the Ziidi trading platform. So this is shifting the 65% foreign participation, not only to outsiders, but has brought power to the Kenyans. So that's what we want to talk about today. And Ken, I'll let you take the platform. You go first. What are your thoughts on the pointers I've said, and what do you think about the Ziidi trading platform?
In order to just break down what Ziidi will do to the Kenyan market, I think it's important to also look at the evolution of the Kenyan market. Trading was done manually, and people had to go into the floor, the exchange, and they had to take orders and buy, sell, whatever you had. And then we evolved from that, and the internet came, and we moved now from going physically to the floor to trading via our computers. But still, the problem with that was that most people required to open a CDS account, open that CDS account, fund that CDS account. And for you to trade, you had to keep on calling your broker and telling him certain instructions, buy for me this particular counter, sell for me this particular counter. So still it was a tedious process.
Especially for the retail.
Especially for the retailer. But now with Ziidi, I think the power is in your hands.
Yes.
So while you're just sitting anywhere, you can access the stock market and you can buy and sell shares wherever you are just because you're an M-Pesa user. I think that will change a lot. In the event that we'll have more people who are trading in the stock market, and more young people, especially for the young people.
Yes.
In the olden days, our parents were not very big believers of investing in the stock market, holding shares and doing all that.
Especially now since we moved from the share certificate.
Yeah.
And you're not holding a physical
share. You don't need even, everything is digital.
Yes.
It's a very easy process. So I think we'll see a rise, and we've already seen that rise, including in the turnover. We've seen a rise in turnover. We've seen a rise in the number of trades that are being taken. We've seen a rise in participation and people getting now interested in taking part.
Yes.
And I think the missing link that needs to be filled is just people need to understand, now how to go about making profitable decisions. Because again, if you keep on losing money while you're doing it and you're not making profitable decisions, then the motivation to keep on doing it disappears. But if you're able to turn your decisions into some profitability and some cash, however little, then things will start changing. And I think that's what I expect to see. I expect to see more people getting interested in the stock market. I expect to see more people trying to buy and sell things, or buying and holding even for the long term. And I think that will really, really change how people invest. That will really, really also change the living standards of people, because as more people come to the stock market, it generally means that things will transition into all places. So I believe that when that really happens, and we've already started seeing that, I think it's only a month when Ziidi has been less than a month actually, and we've already seen that rise. I imagine now what will happen like a year or 2 years in, that will really, really change things for this Nairobi Securities Exchange.
Yeah.
We could even see more companies coming now to get listed on the stock exchange. And that will be very beautiful because more trading activity means more opportunities for people to make money in the markets.
True.
Yeah.
And very good point. Now, with what you've said, there'll be a lot of opportunities. And my point is to talk about with opportunity doesn't really necessarily mean profits.
Thank you.
So one thing Ken and I really emphasize on, and Kestrel Capital also emphasize on, is trader education, investment education. Long-term, short-term, any investment you're getting into, just because you have access on it to it through your phone, doesn't mean now let's go and play around. You won't separate gambling to investing.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of psych, a lot of happiness, a lot of excitement, a lot of euphoria around the market, where everyone is about, let's buy this, let's jump into this. Safaricom, let's jump into these different stocks. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you have to make also calculated risks and calculated judgments. You need to do a lot of research. You need to get educated, financial literacy, okay? And I'm not talking about personal finance because I believe many of you are educated on that platform, but you need to understand how to invest in the financial markets. Ken's background and I, we used to be in the financial markets where we invest into global markets and all that. And we've looked at and we've seen many cycles of different eras of presidents, different eras of interest rates, different eras of quantitative easing, and all that. These are all financial jargons that you need to get familiar with before you start investing, especially when you're investing in the thousands or more, okay? Because at the same time, look, you don't want to invest to see your money go. We don't want to go back when people will invest in a certain stock, they don't know what is happening and they see their money going and they think this company has stolen money from them.
Yeah.
Okay? The financial markets don't work like that. There's a lot of opportunity to be made. So it's important for you first to get that education before you get into the investing. Like from the wise words of Eric Ruenji, what he said, we have given you access through Ziidi Trader app. But access does not mean success. Access without education is speculation. Access with education is empowerment.
Yep.
You have been empowered, but if you use it badly, power can be used badly.
Yeah.
If you don't use it wisely, you'll also lose a lot of money. So first, get educated, and a lot of this education is out there. Okay, even with Kestrel Capital, there's a lot of educational videos that are going to be coming to teach you how to buy and sell, invest, what to look at, what to understand when you're looking at fiscal policy, you're looking at monetary policy, you're trying to understand about a company's balance sheet, what they're doing, what markets are they getting into, what is an EPS, what is a dividend, which companies pay dividend, because not all companies in Kenya actually pay dividends.
Yeah.
So it's important to understand all this, how to understand the bond market, because the bond markets also really affect the flow of capital within the country and all that. So those are things we'll be getting into later, but at the end of the day, this app is quite revolutionary. It might be in the capital markets, one of the most important, significant changes that we've had in very, very many years.
Yep.
And it's going to bring the capital markets, it's not only going to be for the elite, but it's going to bring that wealth and power into the hands of the people.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, wait and see, watch this space. It's going to change everything.
Yep. I think for me, finally, what I'd say is for the young people specifically, I think this is one of the best times to be alive.
True.
If you look at how history has evolved and how even our country, we've moved from not having independence all the way to where we are right now. As a young person, you might think these are bad times, but I think the internet has given you access now to a lot.
Yeah.
And at the comfort of your bedroom. I like using the bedroom because that's somewhere that most people actually have. You know, even if you have a bedsitter, you'll always have a place where you can sleep.
That's where we started.
Yeah. So from that simple place, you can be able to access the stock market. And with your phone, just your phone, you have a lot of power. You can search for information on different companies. You can take those trades. You can monitor how those trades are evolving. I think if you're living in this time as a young person, that is a very, very revolutionary time. And you should really look at this time as a time to take advantage of these opportunities, because obviously with these changes, we expect new millionaires to be created, a new wave of you know, people who will take advantage of these technologies. With each technology, there's always a new wave of people who will come out, the people who utilize that technology well. And at the same time, there are people who will suffer, the people who did not want to change or to adapt to the changes. So I think for the young people, people like me, we're excited. We're looking forward to a bright future.
Also the old people.
Yeah, even for the old people, yeah. We're not segregating, but I think for the young people, I'm saying that more because we're more tech savvy. You can look for more information. You don't have to ask questions so much.
You're more willing to take risks.
You're more willing to take risks. You have more time to hold some of these counters when you buy. You know, so you have time to start early and then accumulate wealth slowly. So for everyone, it's for everyone, but specifically for the young people, and especially in our country where even job opportunities are not there, this is something that can really, really help you start and build on something. Yep.
Yeah, true. And just to finish off on my end, like what can I say, just to iterate what he's saying? If you look at the billionaires Bloomberg index,
Yeah.
and the list of billionaires around the world, the likes of Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Bernard Arnault, Jeff Bezos, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, etc. There are so many of them. All of them have those wealth stored up in the stock exchange.
Exactly.
You find all these people have investments in different companies. Yes, at the end of the day, they'll invest in stocks, real estate, personal items, but most importantly, their value goes up together with the global stock market.
Yeah.
Now that power has been brought to you
Exactly.
on a silver platter.
Yep.
Do not ignore it, take advantage of it, and the earlier,
The better.
So I believe that's it from us for today.
Yep.
We'll be back to talk about more and what developments are happening at Kestrel Capital together with Safaricom, bringing the NSE directly into your hands.
Yep. So I think for me, finally, I'd say anything that you'd want covered, comment on the below section. Tell us what you'd like covered on the Ziidi Trader. Ask us questions, and we'll try to come back and answer those questions in different episodes.
And with that said, see you in the next video.